Hi, Garland. Thanks for joining us today. Garland Goins is Director of Revenue Integrity at Duke University Health System. And just for a little background, Duke Health has three hospitals. They have Duke University Hospital, they have Duke Regional Hospital, and Duke Raleigh Hospital. And Garland, it's nice to have you with us. Thank you very much. And my first question is, how did you first become aware of the portals, the RAC Monitor portal and the ICD10 portal?
Thank you, Chuck. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. And absolutely, I first became aware of the various portals through an association I have with the National Association of Healthcare Revenue Integrity, or NARI for short. NARI is a tremendous organization that supports revenue integrity across the span of healthcare in various capacities, mainly centered around the charge description master and the compliant charge capture and coding practices within our industry. So once I was introduced there, I was kind of hooked from there, to say the least. I started off with the Monitor Mondays and the Talk 10 Tuesdays, and really gravitated towards understanding what we're facing in this industry. I was then able to work with my finance and divisional leaders here and kind of make, MedLearn and ICD10 and RAC Monitor kind of a core education or learning curriculum, if you will, for the individuals here at Duke Health. Not only for those that are in the revenue integrity, compliance, coding, charge capture space, but those in patient access, billing, and reimbursement as well, because it truly takes a village to understand the dynamics of the upstream impacts that we're facing and the downstream potential negative impacts that we could have if we don't do the right thing. So ICD10 Monitor as well as RAC Monitor have been tremendous in terms of content and giving us greater perspective. So
thank you very much. That's a very nice endorsement, and we appreciate that. How do your folks access RAC Monitor, the RAC Monitor portal, as well as the ICD10 portal?
Certainly. So we have a full subscription. Typically, it's myself as well as my strategic service associate who is our liaison with our learning management system. And I'm going to technically butcher this, but there is some type of link or portal, if you will, that allows individuals, if they sometimes miss a session or cannot see it real time, the on-demand version is hugely popular. Because many of our coders are in production environments, right? And so they cannot make those finite dates and times. And so we do kind of purchase, or we have a subscription to where we have the on-demand version, make that LMS accessible, and allow end users to take a listen and digest and take that information back.
Very good. What value do you see from both of those, the RAC Monitor portal as well as the ICD10 Monitor portal? What value?
Sure. Tremendous value out of both. Starting with the RAC Monitor, I would have to say the regulatory and compliance piece, of course, selfishly for me, being in the revenue integrity space, the level of interpretation, or the degree of interpretation and the variation or the diversity of that is what I'm seeking. We all interpret things differently, and we may deploy those differently based upon our health system, our region, or even potentially our contracts. So I wanted to make sure that we're kind of defining it and understanding it the same way. On the flip side, what ICD10 Monitor is the same degree of interpretation with some of the new ICD10 codes that come out, and how some of the complex cases and even HCC and risk adjustment is influencing, again, some parts of the nation as it moves to other parts. So it's more of a great barometer, if you will, to say that we're pacing at the right temperament and moving in the right direction, but also as a good, kind of reliance on, education and making sure those individuals are in fact learning more about the industry versus just, again, their core functions.
Thanks, Garland, very much. Angela, I don't know if you want to include this in the recording or not, but I'm very curious. What could we do to make access to the portals either easier or better, or what about the content? what would you like to see that you don't see, and what are you seeing that you really don't need to see anymore?
Wow, that's a fantastic question. I like the content. I love the fact that you have the various on-demand versions, whether it be CD driven as well, just based upon the nature of how individuals digest information. For me, it's been pretty straightforward and seamless in terms of implementation and deployment for education. I highly encourage, again, those that do not directly report to me to get involved and participate in the associations and leverage RAC Monitor and ICD10 Monitor as a means of getting in there because of their learnings. So if I had to say if there were any opportunities for enhancement, that's a good one. You put me on the spot. I probably have to think about that. But I probably could give you a handful of individuals who would have some recommendations. But if you give me a couple of days, I could probably give you something.
All right, that's good. You're aware, of course, that the IPPS proposed rule came out yesterday.
Yes.
What's your primary source of news along those lines, may I ask?
Yeah, so IPPS, OPPS, any of the payer quarterly updates. We typically have a payer relations department that really combs through all that data in detail. I think we've tried some vendors in the past to help us, kind of consolidate most of that information. But we do leverage RAC Monitor as a source. We do have individuals that actually are on the CMS website, and we have a great relationship with our MAC, here is Palmetto GBA.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore, we do ask diligent questions and things of that nature. So we try to hit it from a lot of different angles and then come together and see if we have the same interpretation and go from there.
Very good. Those are all my questions, Angela. If you have something that you'd like me to ask or ask yourself, feel free to go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think from my lens more of, I'd love to, over the next few days, if you're able to get us a list of a few of your internal users, that would be great to reach out to them and kind of ask them in the trenches, what do they like? What would they like to see? The one question I was just thinking about, I know you had mentioned MedLearn earlier, so you've been a user. We've got 3 different brands, RAC, ICD10, and MedLearn. From where you sit on the revenue side, what from MedLearn Publishing, from our products, we've got interventional radiology, lab, cardiology, CRM, infusion, what's been the most useful and helpful for your team?
I would have to say, to your point, more of those complex procedures to where there aren't as many resources available. To your point, interventional radiology or radiation oncology, it doesn't have the depth of knowledge and understanding as we'd like. So we leverage kind of MedLearn, many of the publications, primarily the books, so that our coders and revenue managers have a good indication of what the associations or society is telling them and leading them towards. So yeah, it's a great complement to what we have in place, but that's what we usually leverage them for.
Okay. When it comes to EHRs, do you feel that the MedLearn resource and I10 and RAC still help? Because I know EHRs do give some guidance and feedback, but you need more than just what you're getting?
Yes. So the EHRs are great clinically.
Okay.
In terms of the efficiency of processing, patient information, very orders driven. We're an Epic shop.
Okay.
But nevertheless, as it relates to the deployment of revenue cycle functions, it has a ways to go, or it's very opportunistic. We'll say that.
Okay.
So nevertheless, yeah, we'll try to leverage any and all outside resources as well as peer groups, because we're not in this alone. So, yeah.
Okay, good. Those are my only questions. Thank you so much. I was trying to look at from the revenue cycle lens, how you guys look at stuff. So thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Hey, just a real quick question. Are you going to listen to us on Monitor Monday, this coming Monday?
Yes, I do plan on it. Yes.
Oh, good. Frank Cohen's going to be our special guest, going to be talking about you know, it seems to be like this endless circle where you go to the appeals, you know, the ALJ level, and it goes back to an administrative. Well, it goes to another level, and then it goes back again, and I think it's going to be a very interesting piece. So I hope you do listen. I look forward to having you on the having you listen, and also on Monitor Monday or Talking Tuesday, we're going to be talking about the IPS rule that came out yesterday as well. So thanks for listening. You need to put that plug in.
Excellent. No worries. I'm a tremendous fan and will remain that way. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. ALJ, it just takes forever to resolve things, and it seems like more and more they're allowing, you know, just complete approval because they're so backlogged. But no, I'm excited to hear what Maury has to say and how best we can prevent potentially getting to that level. So yeah.
Exactly. Good. Thanks for your listenership. Thanks, Angela. That's it. And Garland, thank you so much. Thanks for a great interview. Thanks for being a subscriber. With 3-year subscription to both Rack Monitor and ICD10monitor. And thanks for your candid observations. And look forward to having you on the broadcast sometime.
Excellent. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Angela. I really appreciate your time and patience.
Yeah, thank you, Garland. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.